I want to talk to people who could teach us and how did they make it.
So dati, ang 50 pesos nakakabili na ng rice and ulam. Today, 50 pesos, kanin lang.
I mean, naiiyak ako pag naririnig ko yung ganun. Klase ng pamumuhay. Did they live to make a living just to survive?
But you wouldn't have known.
Yes.
You know, so what I learned is diversification talaga.
Exactly.
Ayun.
Ilang beses ka na in love rito?
Isa lang.
You will see the real character of a person.
Yeah,
Bigyan mo
yeah,
siya
yeah.
ng kapangyarihan at pera. Lahat ng bagay na nagmamatter has risk.
The inflation rate of the Philippines has now gone up to 7.2%. And as someone who has lived most of his life here in Singapore, it's something that I cannot really resonate with until I spoke to someone who has shown me, and I realized how this is very important to our everyday Filipinos, especially if you're living in the Philippines and spending in pesos. I was joined by China Barachina, the founder of Wealthwise and the host of Billionario TV's Follow the Money, where we dive in on how this inflation rate has affected many lives in the Philippines. Stick around till the end because this episode commemorates our very first podcast, which has happened in May 11, 2025. It's rather important because China came here for her birthday, and it was so last minute that we made this podcast. To all of those who have been watching me the past year that I've been posting out here on YouTube and social media, I want to say thank you all. And I want to thank those especially who have emailed me and expressed how helpful my videos are, how educational my channel has been, and how it's changed their lives. I want to say shout out to all my clients. I want to say shout out to my friends, my family, and everybody else. Lastly, it would really help if you follow and comment and subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, as this channel can really help many Filipinos. Without further ado, let's hop right in.
China, I want to ask you something. Recently, I saw that you started this new YouTube channel called Wealthwise.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I remember last year when we had our podcast din, no? What I liked about it was you are very passionate in, sharing money tips, motivating the Filipinos to make better financial decisions. Tell me more about Wealthwise because I believe that that's your goal right now, doing that. So,
Yeah, I believe wealth is not just about money, Rico. Because a lot of people are trying to have this mindset of, abundance, getting more money that they can make. But then the whole aspect about wealth is having the balance of mind, mindset, health. You should have a mindset of good health because health is wealth.
yes.
And also like holistically, how do you decide on things? Because your skills might take you there, but the attitude and the principles that you live by will make you stay there. So for me, the concept of wealth wise, being wise and building your wealth will make it as a legacy in the years time. So that's why I want to share that with Filipino people, how you should really grow your wealth by seeing the stories that you have seen before, that they have already napunta na sila doon eh. They're already there, and it's not me. I'm still in the discovery phase, but I want to talk to people who could teach us and how did they make it to the top
I
and stay
see.
there.
What stood up to me is the word legacy. When we say legacy, kasi we normally think about the future. And I strongly believe that channels like this, finance channel, can really help Filipinos um, get better, no, in terms of their financial future, the decisions that they make. Because let's not mess around, no. Filipinos tend to be, I would say, medyo backwards tayo sa larangan ng pera,
Yeah, definitely.
And I want to ask you a question. Do you think that Filipinos nowadays are facing an uncontrollable challenge when it comes to their money decisions?
Oh, especially talking about magkano na ang bilihin sa Pilipinas.
Yep. Inflation.
Inflation will kill your spending in a way na hindi naman nagbabago ang sweldo mo. And even if you're working abroad, say for example, sabihin natin, kumikita naman ako ng dollar. But how weak is the peso right now?
Yeah.
Kung kahit VA ka, kahit OFW ka, right now, lahat ramdam how hard it is to live by means dun sa sweldo na natatanggap mo. If it was same as last year, and you're just earning the same now, kitang-kita mo, konti na lang ng pakonti na iuwi. Just, think about this. A lot of the things that because the fuel prices it grew up tremendously after the Iran war, right? It started. But nakikita ko mga initiatives which is we should be thankful for. Maraming libreng sakay. So, ang affected niyan yung mga working people, but have they thought the real impact of fuel prices will directly impact drivers, jeepney drivers, grab drivers?
Magkano na ba in today's landscape, magkano kaya ang kikitain ng isang jeepney driver sa isang pasada in one day?
Alam mo ba, meron ako nakausap na mga nag-jeep.
Oh.
Sabi nila, swerte na daw kung may maiuwi silang pambigas at sardinas dun sa bahay nila on a given day. Parang gusto na nilang mag-give up, pumunta na lang sila sa probinsya, magtanim na lang sila doon, baka mas may kainin pa yung pamilya nila. How drastic that is. I mean, naiiyak ako pag naririnig ko yung ganyang klase ng pamumuhay. Did they live to make a living or just to survive? Paano na lang ngayon? I mean, di ramdam nung walang pasok yung mga bata. But just imagine pag humingi na ng mga baon yung mga yan. And I don't think that the government or anyone can understand that, not unless you are in that situation.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really devastating right now, especially at this time.
Magkano na ba ang inflation ngayon sa Pinas?
Around 7.2.
7.2.
That's April 2026.
What could be the catalyst?
Oh, fuel. And the war, the weak peso. I mean, tignan mo na lang, I checked the last 3 years, up until 2025, we're averaging at 3.6.
Oh.
Imagine mo kung may 7.2, parang dumoble na. So kung may 1,000 ako na pinang-grocery ko, na probably makukuha yung kalahati na or 1/4 ng cart, baka ngayon sabihin mo sa 1,000 mo, wala ka nang nabili.
Let's move back a little bit. Let's explain. Help me. Okay, imagine you're speaking to someone who doesn't know anything about finance. How would you explain inflation to them?
Ito yung amount ng pera mo na nabibili mo dati ng, for example, meron kang Big Mac meal. Yung Big Mac meal mo, kaya mo siyang bilhin ng gantong kalaki lang. Pero dahil sa inflation, yung Big Mac meal mo, parang naging regular burger na. Bukas makalawa, bite size na lang yung Big Mac. So, McDonald's baka naman. Anyway, if we're gonna cut that, yung mga grocery items na kinukuha mo, na kala mo, okay, asukal, nakakabili ka ng asukal, nakakabili ka sibuyas, toyo, suka. Baka yung mga means mo na nakikita mo sa grocery mo, na dapat sa pantry mo, hindi pa nga not even cereals or whatnot eh. Yun na, baka asukal na lang mabili mo dyan or asin na lang.
Magkano ba mabibili sa 1,000 pesos ngayon?
If you will calculate, nasa around, sabihin natin, ang kilo ng baboy, dati nagre-ranges from 300 probably to 400. Yun, makikita mo, depende sa grocery. Umakyat na siya ng about 20%. Kung umakyat na ng 20%, yan, kalahati pa lang ng 500 na lang yung natira mo kapag bumili ka pa ng kanin.
Yeah.
Wala na, it's already a vanity pag meron ka pang isang ulam sa 1,000 pesos.
You know what, naalala ko nung bago kami mag-migrate sa Singapore. I remember ang baon ko sa school back then this was in 2001. Mga ganon. Baon ko sa school back then was 50 pesos per day.
Wow.
And ang nabibili ko doon was isang ulam na may kanin, no? Ulam na kanin, and then meron pa akong pambili ng Beyblade after school.
Wow, talaga.
Yes. Kasi ang Beyblade back dati, yung mga peke lang, 15 pesos mo, no? Magkano kaya ang mabibili ng 50 pesos ngayon?
Rice, 1 cup of rice is 30 pesos.
That is inflation. Ibig sabihin ng inflation,
Imagine
no? Inflation, in essence, is kung ano ang mabibili mo sa current value ng pera mo. So dati, ang 50 pesos nakakabili na ng rice and ulam. Today, 50 pesos, kanin lang, as you mentioned, di ba?
Yeah,
So, how do you think na nararamdaman to ng karaniwang Pilipino? Ito mas magandang tanong. Tingin mo ang karaniwang Pilipino ramdam na ramdam tong inflation na to?
Umiiyak na sila.
Damn. Okay.
Kung dati nagrereklamo lang, ngayon umiiyak na. I mean, imaginein mo na lang yung, say for example, lagi ako nag-i-interview ng mga Grab drivers. Gano'n nakalaki yung nagiging gasolina nila. Yung dating 1.5, nagiging 2.5. Yung dating nag-increase tremendously na to the point na kailangan talaga nilang magtiis. Yung kumot nila, panyo na lang ngayon. Diba? Sinasabi natin as Filipinos, matutong bumaluktot pag mag-iksi ang kumot. It's not even a blanket now. It's just a handkerchief. So imagine mo na lang yung and kung hindi ka magiging mautak when it comes to increasing your income stream, hindi sila
So ibig sabihin ba nito kung may inflation tayo ngayon at mas konti na ang mabibili nating kanin dahil sa inflation na yan, ibig sabihin, papayat tayo.
Yun, kasi ang Pilipino mahilig sa kanin, di ba? So parang this is one way to look at it. It's we really have to make sure na sukat din, baka maraming pumayat, diba? Ang nakakatawa lang din sa mga Pilipino are resilience. Regardless of what's going on.
I agree.
Makakahanap at makakahanap.
I agree. Madiskarte kasi ang Pilipino.
Yeah.
Kaya ang daming Pilipino ang nangingibang bansa. They become OFWs. And speaking of being an OFW, magkano na ba ang peso sa USD ngayon?
Oh my
60...
God. The highs was 61, but it went down around 60. So it's ranging 59 to 60 probably right now. I know because I have US clients. So namomonitor ko yun that it's sad nga, but sometimes you're happy because I have US clients. So meaning I can earn dollars and I can be happy with the exchange. But then you come to think of it like paano yung iba, and kung pabaligtad naman, the businesses also are affected. If you're into importation and if you're into like raw materials that you travel here and there. And I recently have I'm looking into a business wherein I need to import supplements, and supplements will take if it's in dollars will get a lot of cost.
Yeah. Right now, $1 Singapore is 47.9 something. Last week, it was 48 pesos.
Oh my God, yes.
So that means, kung meron kang $1,000, it's 48,000 pesos.
Magsha-shopping dapat kami.
It's good for you right now. I don't know, it's bad for you.
It's bad for me right now here in Singapore because sabi
Yeah.
ang mahal lahat.
Yeah.
That's funny because we were in Universal Studios and Donkey said that, oh, I know where am I right now, sabi ni Donkey, because everything here smells expensive. So I felt the rise of dollar SGD to peso because of like what we have. Naabutan nga yata namin, I think
last year it was last year when you were here 46.
Yeah, it's 46.
Yeah.
Right now
That's
it's
2 pesos, no?
It's terrible.
Yeah. So 10 years ago, $1 Singapore was 33 pesos. So that means 1,000 pesos was 33,000. Now imagine 10 years ago, kung meron kang nabuong portfolio na nagbibigay sa'yo ng dividends na $1,000 per month.
Panalo.
10 years ago, that's 33,000 pesos. Today, 48,000 per month na.
And kailangan nilang ma-realize that if you are not gonna do something about it, the inflation will never gonna go down as you go along.
Wow.
Because inflation will eventually still gonna go up.
It's forever there.
Yeah, it's just a matter of the speed, if it's fast or slow. And rarely bad. I mean, if it's deflation, it's also bad for the economy. So talagang kailangan mong paghandaan yung future in a way that you outsmart the growth of inflation.
What do you think is the best way to defeat inflation? How do you paano ka makakalaban sa inflation na yun?
Simplihan lang natin, di mag-invest tayo.
So we don't want to talk about where to invest, in this episode because investment is a personal thing.
Yeah.
Different people have different time horizons, risk appetite,
exactly.
And all that. No, but the concept of investing itself is pag nag-stake ka sa isang, for example, let's talk about stocks. No, nag-stake ka sa isang kumpanya na nagva-value ng, okay, let's make it easy, $3 per share. O sige, $1 na lang, no? $1 per share. Naglagay ka ng 100 pesos. Now, next year, itong $1 per share na to, naging $1.70 $1.70.
Mhm.
Yung peso mo would have been 170 pesos. So in essence, ang pag-i-invest to easily, ang hirap kasi explain ng ano eh,
Investing.
ng investing eh. But kumbaga, nakikistake ka sa paglago ng isang kumpanya. Ganun na lang. No?
Exactly.
Kasi,
It's like you're partnering with big companies na
Ayun.
hindi mo need na makasama sa kanila in their meetings, hindi mo kailangan i-absorb yung stress, but you are also being a business person while not being a business person. And that's the best way to outsmart active income.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba, there are two
types of income.
Yeah, the two ways and two types of income. One is active and one is passive.
Mm.
Right now, a lot of Filipinos are into active income. Hassle dito, hassle dyan.
Yeah.
But when you're sleeping, your money isn't growing.
Mm.
And when you're investing, it's like giving your money 24/7 job to grow while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're doing nothing.
Ito yung common na objection ng isang tao dyan. Gina, gusto kong mag-invest. Paano kung magsara yung company? I'm not talking about like yung credit, yung default, hindi default risk ha. I'm talking about paano kung magsara yung particular corporation na pinag-investan ko.
Yeah.
Ayoko na mag-invest. Paano yun?
Ilang beses ka na in love, Rico?
Isa lang. Isang beses lang.
Di ba, nung na-in-love ka, nag-take ka ng risk?
Oo.
Lahat ng bagay na nagmamatter has risk. So, same as investment. I mean, if it's something that will benefit your future, hindi ba worth the risk?
I agree. Ang galing ng comparison. Kasi, kumbaga, tama nga,
Para emotional investment nga, nalulugi ka eh.
Emotional investment is never a good thing, I would say.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah. Kasi, here's another topic, no? To me, tanggalin ko yung shades para pag sinabi ko to.
Sige.
Love is a choice.
Tama.
You choose who to love.
Tama, di ba? Pinili ka naman ng misis mo.
Oh!
Araw-araw yun.
Araw-araw yun. Di ba? Alam mo dun sa mga podcast mo lately, yung mga interviews mo, no? I saw that you've been interviewing a few personalities na yung topic niya is about global investing. Do you think Filipinos are starting to be more aware of...
You know, you'd be surprised. Gen Zs are the most exposed to global investing. But the risk there is they have already seen the global while they have missed seeing the local. Because my dad taught me to always do the basic first. So when you go outside and make complex things, alam mo dapat yung basic to go back to. It's just sad because even if you're exposed to global market, it's just really good. Because at the end of the day, you really want to diversify. Because you really cannot grow if it's just a local scenario. And you have to take advantage of the online scenario, the online scene these days. Because technology will make you invest on the more landscape. But if you have to know your local market first. Because in that, knowing that local market, you would have a gauge of what really is happening where you live, and then how you gauge what's going on where you live to outside, and how do you adjust.
And you can make more informed decisions.
Exactly.
And even so, let's say a lot of, I've seen a lot of content that says, oh, the PSE is bad, investing in the Philippines is bad. I mean, you know what? I realized one thing, after being in my line for 9 years now, you really wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. Say today, since COVID, hindi pa nakaka-recover ang PSE, ang index.
And there's an upcoming virus daw. Hopefully not. God forbid.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know paano kung in the next so-called election, magbago yung economy. Paano kung maggumanda ulit yung economy ng Philippines just like the 50s? You wouldn't know. Yes, right now, global markets, particularly the US markets, S&P 500, tingnan mo, nagkagera na. Look at where we are right now.
Yeah.
S&P is all-time high na naman. Tuwan-tuwa yung mga investor, no?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you really wouldn't know. Paano kung hindi kasi nangyari kasi niyan, 'di ba? Kinover ni Iran yung Strait, no?
Yeah.
Hormuz. Si Trump kinover
Yeah.
niya. Ginawa niya eh. So
Patentero
that could
sila.
be that could be the catalyst, no? But you wouldn't have known.
Yes.
So what I learned is diversification talaga.
Exactly.
Diversification amongst different global global
Allocation,
markets, sector, may it be AI, technology, healthcare, asset classes, fixed income, bonds, REITs, you name it. Diversification is I feel it's the best way to to be successful in the market, because before you think about making more money in the markets, you want to think about how do I protect my capital first.
Yes, capital preservation.
Yeah, capital muna.
Alam mo,
Yeah.
the word diversification itself really is a complex thing because especially in the Philippines, when you invest in equities or you trade the markets, you can even diversify the way that you trade. You can even diversify the types of portfolio that you have. Meron
Yep.
kang short term, may long term ka. And also diversify and by market owners. Because sometimes, like, that there are a lot of like influential families in the Philippines, and sometimes ang dami nilang listed companies under them. But then this is not a thing in the US and other countries. But here, you have to make sure na hindi ka invested just sa isang last name lang. Kasi baka mamaya, something happened to that last name. Sunog ang portfolio mo. And I always tell that to my followers and also to my clients na let's make sure that not only we will diversify in the industry, but make sure that the owners are different in all these aspects. Because you'll never know.
Now let's compare that to love life again. Ibig sabihin ni China, damihan mo daw yung asawa mo.
Yung misis na Rico napapanood
Hindi.
ko Tagalog lang.
No, kaya Tagalog tayo dito. Ayun yung ibig sabihin niya. Diversification. Jokes aside, no. Totoo yun. Totoo yun. Totoo yun. And currency din.
Yeah, currency.
Diversify throughout different currency, SGD, USD, But you know what? Kung mag-i-invest ka, it also helps. It all, I strongly believe that investment is not a set and forget type of thing.
Yeah, it's not. If it used to be probably 20, 30 years ago, cost averaging buy and hold will work. Now in this type of, you would see trends are really different. Technologies are
And ang
already
bilis
different.
din.
The
Ang bilis
pace
ng
is
change.
already fast, so
Yeah.
you cannot do the buy and hold anymore.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
inactive. That's why we developed what we call the Marge, the My Trade Affordable Retirement Guide, wherein you won't just like buy and hold. Every month you will see what's on your playlist. Ginawa namin very simple, no-brainer. Alam mo yun, kahit para ka lang nakaka-receive ng playlist in because that's what Filipino needs. Hindi mo sila maiintindihan, then do it and learn it by doing it.
You know what? Nagbago na talaga yung investment landscape ngayon.
Totoo. How do you see it happen?
Okay,
In
kasi
your head?
back then kasi, okay, I started investing when I was like, say, 25, mga ganun. Now, ano na ako? 27.
Favorite number mo yung 27. Pasig.
I'm 35. Turning 35, no. I started my investing journey about 10 years ago. 9 years ago. And isa lang yung yung mantra dyan eh. Time in the market beats timing the markets. So ibig sabihin, stay ka lang and then just let the market grow. As much as I agree with it, the market has changed. In order to really make the most out of it, you have to know how to rebalance and then find the right, say, sector, asset class, or global allocation that is relevant in today's world.
Because even a good stock can be bought in a bad time.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. Like right now, all-time high ang S&P. And every Filipino is going S&P. Like as if they just discovered fire. All-time high si S&P. But the question is, pag pumasok ka ngayon at bumagsak si market by 30%, kaya mo ba magstay put?
Oh,
In
gosh.
fact, kaya mo ba magdagdag pa?
Sabi nga ni Buffett, like, be fearful when everyone else is happy. So, if it's all-time high, I usually take a step back and check. Just like recently, when gold was it's in all-time high. Gold, I still subscribe to precious metals, gold and silver, because of the need. Like for EV, the need of silver, but as a conductor of electricity. But you come to think of it, you don't go all in, especially if you're coming in an all-time high.
Yeah.
Pwede kang magpatikim lang, like let's check
Mag-DCA,
it.
continue mo na yung DCA mo.
Yeah.
Continue mo na yung DCA mo.
Ano mo
Yeah.
lang, pero don't go very, if you're hyped by everybody in the bandwagon, oh my God, just be
Yeah.
careful when you're doing things like that, because that's usually the case where it's, about to correct and you're gonna cry and you're gonna think, this is not working. Diba? And you don't want that to happen to you.
Wow. You know what, Tina, yung conversation natin right now, I feel that ang daming laman eh. And I think we can go on for hours. This is what I like about talking to you. But you know what? Let's go to the surface level. No? Do you think the average Filipino is financially behind?
Very much.
Very much. Why
You
do you
know,
think so?
Our stock market holders are just 2% of the population.
Mm.
But it's funny, like the crypto and all, like the casino and all. I think probably you can say 50% of the population have already dealt with e-casino, e-games.
Mm.
And you can see that we are still, as Filipinos, very much attracted to get rich quick schemes. And that's why we are always a victim of scams.
Saka leverage, by the way. I recently posted this reel sa Facebook where, we have Filipino pages here in Singapore.
Mhm.
And ilang beses ko na nakita eh. Saan po ba legit mag-loan? Saan po ba legit mag-loan? That's what, ayun laging tinatanong doon. And to me, loan is leverage, regardless para saan siya.
Mhm.
But I think that Filipinos are still backward to the point na hindi normal ang pag-iipon.
Yeah.
Money
And
management.
I wish we learn how to leverage in a good way. Because billionaires, millionaires like you do leverage, do leveraging in a good way. That's why they get ahead of others. That is not bad at all if you
Mm.
leverage in a good way. That's all. That one thing, hindi nga natin pamamaster ang pag-ipon at pag-invest. Ano pa kaya yung paggamit ng leverage?
Mm.
When in the Filipino setting, if we think about utang, ano agad yan eh? Utang for what? For pambili ng or gamit sa school or pambayad ng credit card. That's what our mentality is, or house loan or something that won't earn in itself.
You know what? I'm supposed to ask you if there is one mindset shift every Filipino should adopt over the next decade. What would it be? I will change that.
Mhm.
How would you reconcile money with values?
Money is just a tool. This is, alam mo,
I love that. Okay.
ang pera kasi, it will magnify who you really are.
Okay, tell me more.
So if you are a good person, if you have more money, you will find more people to help from that money. And if you are a bad person, you will just find more ways to get it all and just keep it all to yourself. So why not teach people, good people, how to create money so they can help more people to build all their dreams. And money, if you have that, you can be powerful in a way of building an empire where people help people. And that's what I want to happen. And that's what I want to see. That's the show Follow the Money usually connotes a bad thing, but following the money is for us to know where to put it, how to manage to manage it wisely,
Yeah.
and to be able to give it away,
Yeah.
and give more people to help.
Yeah.
Ang daming kailangan
Yeah.
ng taong tulungan. At pag-manage pa lang in itself.
Yeah, kasi actually pag madami kang pera, no, it's either gagamitin mo sa kasamaan or sa kabutihan.
Yes.
Like
You will see the real character of a person.
Yeah,
Bigyan mo siya
yeah.
ng power at kapangyarihan at pera.
yeah, grabe. So, you know what? May mga story ako na naririnig sa Pinas na madami daw nangyayari na hindi maganda.
May bayong ba?
May bayong ba? Yeah, I mean, I heard na meron daw. Does that mean na puno ang Pilipinas ng masamang tao?
Marami siguro kasing sumisikat. na merong may vested interest. But still, I still believe that there are a lot of people who are silently helping others.
Yeah. Usually, konti yung followers.
At the end of the day, that I'm really privy about who to talk to and who to interview, because I don't want people to get swayed by just being a good speaker, but wala namang laman, and also, have vested interest. Pinapa-edit out yata nung helicopter kasi biglang tumapat
Wala
sa
naman
atin.
tayong I mean, in general lang naman eh, no?
Yeah,
Kasi
in general.
it happens all over the world.
And then we just want to warn people of the source that they get it from.
Yeah.
Kung sino yung mga pinapakinggan ng mga tao. Because sometimes, all the more that they're so good at what they do and how they speak, you think twice.
Parang tayo yun. Ayoko na. Quit na ako. Ay, nako.
Yeah, you will, one principle that I live by, if you really want to know a person, see its byproduct, what it produces, and who the people are surrounding him.
Wow. It seems like that the biggest financial problem of a Filipino is not really money.
What is it?
Values.
Values.
Gina, thank you for today.
Thank you, Rico. Oh my God, this is like exactly the same day that we talked last.
Yeah. Crazy. Ang laman, grabe.
I hope a lot of Filipinos will learn how
Yeah.
to really invest money.
Yeah. Guys, catch Gina at Wealthwise. Dali, promote mo yung channel mo. Oh, yeah.
Dito na ako,
Dito na.
Okay,
Ikaw na
dito
to.
na. Okay. So, guys, if you want to learn more about building wealth from people who have already surpassed those years and have learned over the years of how they grew their money, maintain their values, and be the man who they're respected to us of today's world, please catch Wealthwise. It's on YouTube and also on Instagram. You will see a lot that the next guest that I have is, I'm really excited because I just met her from a TEDx in the Philippines.
Wow.
I didn't even imagine I'm gonna interview her. She's an executive producer.
I was about to say, mas gwapo sa akin yun.
Maganda.
But babae pala.
Yeah, maganda.
Okay.
And if you haven't watched, see Kirk Bondad's episode, which is episode 1. Imagine Beauty King explaining about he manages his money on an industry na mahirap ang sweldo. You'll never know about 6 years of waiting. And Brother Bo, of course, the reason why I'm here in
Yeah,
this
I
industry.
really like that. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Rico.
Ang galing.
Okay ba?
Ang galing.